The American dream is the ideal that anyone can achieve success and a better life through hard work and determination. A beautiful idea in concept, and one that truly comes to life when Formula One hits the United States. Currently, F1 races in the USA 3 times per year: Miami, Austin, and Las Vegas. And somehow, each one manages to capture a different version of the American dream. Let's start with Miami, a racetrack wrapped in a fake marina. And according to the Daily Mail, which is a totally reliable source for any information ever to ever information on the internet, totally reliably, the 2023 circuit had a luxurious Sunset Cabana package that cost $67,000. So I ran the numbers in my super high-tech facility, and that is $5,583 per person to sit in a fake marina and watch Craig Slater swim on land. Professionalism. Surely it can't get any worse.
It can.
Because after paying $5,583 to sit in a fake marina and sustaining brain damage watching a 50-year-old toddler, the show begins, and you get a cringy performance by Will.i.am. Fuck it, I don't know what he's called anymore, but the bottom line is, the song is It's called The Formula.
This is the Formula.
And was written exclusively for the 2023 Miami race. I can't play it to prove my point, because copyright will eat my ass. So let's read some of the comments, because they're funny AF. We're hitting the barriers with this one. We're not making it out of Q1 with this one. We're getting disqualified with this one. We're not making it out of the pit lane with this one. We're getting lapped by Max with this one. This song hits harder than Mazepin's first race. I actually almost forgot that after the 2021 Bahrain Grand Prix, Mazepin had completed more formation laps than racing laps in his career. Surely it couldn't get any worse for Mazepin.
It can.
And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver.
Back to Miami. So after wiping the blood out of your ears listening to Will.i.am, we get the Martin Brundle grid walk. And you just know it's comedy gold every year. DJ Khaled, the only man that can make standing still look like a cardiac emergency, has no idea what F1 actually stands for.
And the whole world is here for this beautiful event. F1, family, fun.
Speaking of family, Fat Vin Diesel makes an appearance. Martin Brundle gets the first documented interaction with an alien species. Oh yeah, and there's also a race in between as well. The drivers go racing around a soulless racetrack with a terrible layout, barely any overtaking opportunities, and whatever this chicane is supposed to be. Enter COTA, Circuit of the Americas, where Formula One recently went racing. Aside from the overdone cowboy hats, it's actually one of my favourite tracks on the calendar.
Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Mwah. COTA, my beloved. And I know you're all going to comment saying that I'm glazing, but it's either that or you cry because I shit on your favourite driver. So make your mind up. You can't tell me that a track that produced this sunset lap from Charles Leclerc isn't sexual. I'm bricked. Right now. From start to finish, it's built with racing heritage. Turn 1, one of the best on the calendar. Elevation change, wide entry, narrow exit.
And the McLarens make contact!
But we'll get to that. Turns 3 to 6, inspired by Maggots and Beckett's at Silverstone. Fast, flowing, elegant. Turns 16 to 18, based on Istanbul's turn 8, sustained G-forces that push the limits. And that's not even a complete summary. Throughout the years, it's also had some iconic moments. Hamilton versus Rosberg, the 2015 title decider, Kimi Räikkönen's last win in 2018, and of course, 2021, where Hamilton and Verstappen gave the grid a masterclass in pegging.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
COTA represents the version of the American dream that's earned through hard work, not bought through branding. No fake marinas, $67,000 cabanas, just pure cinema.
Are you sure about that?
So before we get onto Vegas, let's talk about this weekend, starting with the sprint. I know I've called them boring before, but when they're at tracks like COTA or Brazil, fine, I take it back. Verstappen on pole, followed by the 2 McLarens, then Nico... All the cars are lined up, and it's showtime for another war crime. Max gets a good launch, Piastri goes side by side with Norris, then goes for a super optimistic switchback, then goes for a bumpy ride into Lando Norris and spins him around. For people with eyes, if we're placing the blame, it's clearly Piastri's fault. He takes a very different line to the drivers in front of him, doesn't look to his inside, and boom. Boom! He's out the race.
Piastri's out!
But it's turn 1, so it's just a racing incident. So the order is Verstappen, Russell, Sainz, and then the 2 Ferraris. Hamilton barely avoided being decapitated at turn 1, and Charles somehow came out of this alive. Then on lap 8, Russell is catching Max down the back straight. DRS wide open. He's not close enough for a move, but then he remembers who the fuck he is. Sends it all the way from Dallas, pushes Max wide, goes wide himself, and doesn't make the move stick. Max gets on the radio.
Mate, what is that? Completing this the corner.
He went off the track, mate.
Fair point. Verstappen would never do such a thing. Speaking of going off the track, on lap 14, Behrman slings it around the outside of Taliban Snelly, goes off the track, doesn't give the position back, and gets a 10-second penalty, dropping him out of the points. Introducing a new prestigious award for each weekend on the channel, the Overtake of the Weekend Award. This weekend's winner, Lance Stroll, for his overtake on Ocon at turn 1 on lap 16. Lance sends it down the inside from another galaxy, locks up, T-bones him for 12th place. 4 places off the points. But I can confidently say I now know who the greatest driver of all time is. You know what? Fuck it. I'd actually take that back. It's not Overtake of the Weekend Award, it's Overtake of the entire history of the sport award. Anyway, right, back to the championship. So Max Verstappen gains another 8 points, crucial for the championship battle, which gets us into the main race. Surely the gap to the McLarens can't get any closer.
It can.
And it's lights out, away we go. Verstappen crosses the line, wins the US Grand Prix.
Max gains another 25 points, crucial for the championship battle. Yeah, that's it. I could sit here and give a 20-minute breakdown like every other YouTuber's done, but we've seen this movie before, and it's called the entire 2023 season. Piastri still leads with 346 points, followed by Lando on 332 points, and Max on 306 points. But if Lando didn't DNF in Zandvoort, he'd actually be leading the championship right now, which apparently no one wants to talk about, so I'm giving him the props he deserves.
If my mom had balls, she would be my dad, so...
Anyway, if Qatar is the American dream earned through hard work, then Las Vegas is the American dream 3-day bender, getting mugged by capitalism, and a gambling addiction. And in 2023, it started with an opening ceremony with performances from Michael B. Jordan, a wax figure, the kids from the Goonies, and an Asian Moist Critical. So, just like Miami, the usual twat parade that has nothing to do with F1 with fake crowd noises. Show me a single crowd shot of people going this hard. But at least they put on a fucking show. And none of the drivers looked like they actually wanted to be there. The track itself cost $500 million to build. That's a lot of stacks. Hella bread. But still less than it cost Fat Vin Diesel to have dinner. But Fat Vin Diesel's arsehole in the toilet wasn't the only thing exploding. Oh no, because this is a drain cover. You'd think some of the budget surely would have gone into securing the drain covers that have been historically known to get sucked out of the ground by F1 cars.
The first practice session Thursday ended abruptly. That's when a water drain cover was yanked loose and damaged one of the cars.
So Carlos Sainz drives over a drain cover in FP1 and it's cancelled. The fans who paid with their kidneys then wait around for FP2 to begin and they're kicked out. Because in traditional Vegas fashion, the house always wins and the fans always lose. But the craziest part is that after all of this fuckery, the broken floor, the 5-hour delay, the driver migraines, the race itself was actually pretty good. Like, annoyingly pretty good. Verstappen gets a penalty for a move at turn 1 after forcing Leclerc off the track. Leclerc sends one on Perez on the final lap of the race for P2, which won Overtake of the Year, by the way. Ocon even went from 16th to 4th. Lance Stroll went from 19th to 5th. My goat. But Vegas didn't stop there, because in 2024, the same track that tried to kill Carlos Sainz gave us a Mercedes 1-2. In typical Mercedes fashion in this era, they're nowhere for a few races and then they somehow dominate every weekend for no reason and George Russell just somehow gets P1. But fuck it. And Hamilton charged all the way from P10 to P2. Still not as good as the GOAT, but does Lewis Hamilton have 5 bajillion championships to his name? No, he's only got 7. And if that wasn't enough, Verstappen wins his 4th world title. The Vegas Grand Prix went from being a $500 million PR stunt to one of the most entertaining races on the calendar. Not authenticity, not tradition, but chaos. Beautiful chaos. That's the most honest version of the American dream there is. Now, to predict the rest of the 2025 season, it goes like this. In Abu Dhabi, Lance Stroll laps the field 50 times, gets awarded 50 bajillion points by the FIA, and wins the drivers and constructors by himself in a single race. If that doesn't scream the American dream, I don't know what does.
Lance Stroll, for the first time ever, is champion